So now we're into turn two of Blitzkrieg in the south. I'm playing the drive on Kiev scenario, so it's August 3rd and 4th of 1941. And I rolled up an event on my homemade event table. It's basically partisan sabotage against the railroad. I rolled this off, and basically it ended up being no effect. So I think in my narrative, the rear area guys took care of them, and I'm sure they got in a little bit of trouble, but supply continues to flow. So I'm working on trying to capture Kiev, and so the Axis had the 299th Infantry Division, supported by the 670th Panzerjäger and the 91st Anti-Aircraft, attacked the Soviet 132nd Division. I think this unit is already reduced from earlier combat, and I had like 7-1 odds here. So what ended up happening is the Soviet 132 was eliminated for all intents and purposes. Then I launched a second attack. This is also fully supplied, and I'm allowed 2 fully supplied attacks per turn in this scenario. So the Axis 73rd Infantry Division, which I believe is reduced from earlier combat probably, and they had support from the 191st Assault Gun, as well as the 44th Infantry Division. These are going to attack the Soviet 206th Infantry Division and the 3rd Anti-Tank. They do have artillery support. The Soviets have artillery support from the cadet school. It's not a very strong one, but it does add a little bit. But the Axis also has the 705th Regiment of Artillery providing support, and they flew in some sorties from the Ju-88s. So I ended up having a very, 4-1 odds, I think, and I got the result of a 2-step losses. So the the Soviet anti-tank gun was eliminated, and the 206 took a step loss. So they also had to fall back in a retreat. So the Soviet 206 falls back into Kiev. And then I had them pull back from being surrounded. I wanted to move the 175th Infantry Division and the militia. Anyway, that's what you see in this picture, and that brings an end to turn 2, August 3rd and 4th. So on turn 3, it is now August 5th and 6th of 1941, and the Axis decides to really put in a heavy effort into Kiev, and they're focusing on attacking the southern part of the city. So the 95th Infantry Division, the 99th Light Division, the 299th Infantry Division, and the 79th Infantry Division lead this attack, and they're supported with the 91st Anti-Aircraft, the 670th Panzerjäger, and the 191 Assault Group, and or Assault Gun. And they also have artillery, and they're going to bring in some Ju-88s as well. They're facing a formidable force. You got the Army headquarters there, the Kiev Tank Regiment, the Cadet School Artillery, and 2 infantry divisions, the 206 and the 227. And so I get quite an attack going on here, and in the end, the Axis is successful and captures the southern part of the city, and the cadets ended up being eliminated in this effort. Both sides suffered some losses, though. I had to do what I guess you could call a Sokov attack. So the 44th Infantry attacked the 175th Infantry to the west of this attack. The Soviet 175 also had some militia, and the attack was kind of low odds, and the Soviets were in fortifications, so this kind of stalled, and both sides suffered some losses here. The militia unit was eliminated. Both sides took step losses. That's pretty much all that the Axis could do this turn. The Soviets got some reinforcements. Finally, they're coming in from the east map edge, so it's going to take them a while to get there. And because the Soviet sequence of play is kind of challenging compared to the Axis, so you got motorized movement first, then you've got combat, then you have regular movement. So I really got to, it takes a couple days longer to set up your combats, you know. So I really wasn't able to launch a counterattack. I mean, I decided not to because I really didn't have all the support that I wanted. So I kind of crossing my fingers here. Anyway, that kind of brings turn 3, August 5th and 6th of 1941 to a close. So now we're on to turn 4, which is August 7th and 8th of 1941. And the Axis is now going ahead to try to take advantage of the situation and attack the northern part of Kiev. So they're not in a great position here, and they're fighting in the major city now. From a major city, and they only can go in a head-on attack here. So I've got the 99th Light Division and the 299th, plus some artillery support and Ju-88s for close support. I still was only able to get, a terrible 1-to-1 odds, and plus I got a die roll modifier against me. So in the end, the Axis took a step loss and had to retreat. So now, southern Kiev is open. I had another attack that I had to do, the 75th Infantry to the west and the 191 assault gun plus some remaining artillery attacked the 206th Infantry Division of the Soviets, which ended up being forced to retreat, even though that was a 1-to-1 attack. I rolled a very low die roll. And then the 44th Infantry Division attacked the 175th Infantry Division, and I got another really lucky result because this was another 1-to-1 attack, and the 175 ended up eliminated. So that was great news. So on the Soviet part of the turn, they received some reinforcements coming in, but again, their sequence of play makes it very difficult for them to plan as well as the Axis does. But I did get the 206 Infantry Division to move back into a fortified position just to the northwest of Kiev, but they're not going to attack. They're just going to try to hold a defensive position there. But at the moment, the Soviets do hold northern Kiev, and the southern part of Kiev is still open. So I wasn't really able to do a whole lot about that.